Cluster headache is one of the most debilitating of the primary headaches that we see. And although it's one of the less common headaches, affecting about 2 to 3% of the population, it is something that once you've seen, you never ever forget. And yet, the average time to correct diagnosis of cluster headache is about 10 years. It's often incorrectly treated as migraine, perhaps because one of its older names was migrainous neuralgia, or incorrectly cluster migraine, but it needs very specific treatment that's very different from migraine treatment. These are episodes that typically affect men in their 20s to 40s that will come, as the name suggests, as a cluster, usually lasting about 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes about once a year, usually at the same time of year, and they will experience excruciating headaches, typically waking them from their sleep about a couple of hours after they go to bed, that build up like that very, very quickly. And unlike migraine, where people want to stay still and not move around, the agitation that accompanies cluster headache is absolutely extreme. They don't know where to put themselves. And it's completely one-sided. One eye will be affected, it will go red, the one eye will run, the nose on the same side will run, and it's literally focusing like a piercing hot poker in that one eye. After about 2 hours, it will fade away and disappear, but then the same thing will happen the subsequent night, or even up to 8 attacks per day in some cases. Unfortunately, there's also a condition called chronic cluster headache, where instead of bouts lasting 6 to 8 weeks, it just occurs constantly with very little respite. And that can be very, very difficult to treat or to get under control. And although we can provide treatments to help ease the symptoms, we've really, very rarely do we manage to get somebody in complete freedom from symptoms during these episodes.